Hello, everyone. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. I hope they enjoy the chicken, the all those fried rice and all those things. Don't forget to send my own. I'm waiting for my own chicken and all those sumptuous meals that you are enjoying for this Christmas. As usual, as you know, I be your humble loyal servant, David Oni, and my YouTube way na know well na David Oni Wiz. So we want to use this medium to say, if you have not subscribed to our channel, make na go do that one now because you can see that channel they very very hot, and each time we come online, we try to bring something new, something dynamic, something innovative, something inventive, something different, something that is very attractive, that can benefit all our life. So this channel, I believe, say it don't dey help so many people because we have been getting so many positive response for some of our fans. They ask us questions, and we don't dey respond to these questions as well, as much as we can do. Now, today we go look at something different. Like I promised in the last episode, when I dey talk about pension, say it is very important for all of us to get pension, both young and old, so that we go prepare for our future when we don't old finish, we won't actually retire. Because one day all of us go retire, and body no be firewood. Apart from that, we are getting old every day to get to a point where we say we no go dey fit do all those things where we did do before. So I enumerated some things, some point. I explained them exponentially, in those topics where I deal with last time. So today I won't bring up now something where we say they different. Today we're talking about what we call equity-based funds, because in my last lecture I promised say now that topic I go talk about. I have to talk about it. So if they follow me well, you go see say now that topic where I promised say I won't talk about now, I won't talk about now. So without further much ado, let us quickly dive into that topic. Wetin we dey call pension, equity-based funds. If you dey talk about equity-based funds, the first thing wey you supposed to know be say, is that equity-based funds, then they talk about wetin we call shares. In those days, I could remember when I dey young, my mother get shares for some companies like Nigeria Breweries and Guinness and the rest of them. She get, but I never understand what it really mean at that time. She get now. So we're going to talk about that thing, shares. So wetin we dey talk be say, as human beings, we need to invest in shares. Shares dey very important. You understand? So it's part of the retirement plan or those futuristic things where we dey talk about in our lectures that we need to prepare for the future. So wetin be this equity-based funds? Like I said before, equity-based funds are actually shares. There are shares that actually deals on what we call stocks. So when we talk about shares, we are talking about stocks. So it is an equity fund that invests principally in what we call stocks. So when you say you get shares, it means that you have stocks. Do you get it now? So when you say you get shares, it means you get what we call stocks. So they are also known as what we call stock funds. Stock funds. So if you want to invest, if you meet your financial advisor or those institutions that would actually deals on buying on these shares, or now you can buy your own shares and you begin to invest, you understand, so that you can get returns or what we call dividend, because shares they give what we call dividends. So the size of the equity is going to be determined by what we call market capitalization on what we call shares. So we can have two types of shares. We have what we call domestic shares and what we call international shares. In fact, I'm still going to talk about what we mean by domestic shares and international shares, because when we say domestic shares, what do we mean? Domestic shares are shares that are that has to do with shares that are that are being dealt with financially in Nigeria. So when you say shares, I buy shares locally, it means what? I buy Nigerian shares. I don't buy Nigerian shares. Then when you say I buy shares internationally, that means I don't buy shares outside Nigeria. Shey you get now? Like all those wetin they call the S&P 500 wey dey for US, those the most lucrative, the most biggest companies in US that are called S&P 500. So we fit buy shares there. The world has become a global village now. We be say we can buy shares anywhere through all these financial institutions like Bamboo, like Shaka, and what we call Trove. You can buy from them. So they are ideal investment for investors that are not well versed. So if you don't know much about shares, equity based funds is just for you. So if you don't know much about am, you can invest your money. Then if your money na shikini money wey be say you no get too much money for hand like that, you can also invest on wetin we dey call equity based funds, which we call shares. So if you no know much about am, maybe say your knowledge no dey very big like that, and apart from that, you no get plenty money, you fit invest am into what? Into shares. Now, the price of wetin we dey call dis shares is based on the funds, on wetin we dey call net asset value. So the price of the equity, because some of them dey sell am for 50 kobo, some dey sell for 1 kobo, some dey sell for 2 naira, some dey sell for even 500 naira per unit of shares. So the amount of money wey you invest will determine the amount or the unit of shares wey you go get for that company. So if you put enough money, you go get wetin we call unit shares wey dey big. Then if you put small shikini money, you go get what? Unit of shares wey dey very, very small. Now, they are managed by, when you talk about these shares, they are managed by not ordinary people. They are managed by what we call experienced professional portfolio managers. Experienced professional portfolio managers. That's what we call them. They call them portfolio managers, and their performance is a matter of what? Of a public record. So their public record and their experience is what they will use to buy those shares for you. So they will buy the shares wey we dey talk for you on your behalf. On your behalf. That means that what? You are a shareholder in that company wey they wan buy, or where they don buy shares for you. Shey you get am now? Now with equity based funds, your money is invested in shares purchased by your what? By wetin we dey call your what? Your fund manager. So when he don buy that shares for you, then you don become part of the shareholder of that company. So that's one of the plans wey me sef I dey get next time. Make me sef I buy shares, you understand? Make I get shares for some companies. Now, before I will round up this topic, let me quickly mention some of those companies, those big companies for Nigeria wey be say dem be baba for what? For shares. They dey on the Nigerian stock exchange, wey be say if you go and buy your shares. One of them is what we call Zenith Bank. Zenith Bank, I always talk about Zenith Bank. That bank na baba bank. Apart from Zenith Bank, you also have UBA, United Bank for Africa, is also one of them. Then you also have FBN Holding. FBN Holding, that is First Bank of Nigeria Holding. They are also part of it. Then we also have what we call Seplat Energy. In fact, it's also one of the big boys where they sell shares. Then we also have what we call Eco Bank. Eco Bank is also one of them. Then we also have what we call GT, Guaranteed Trust Holding Company, which is what we call GT Co. GT Co. We dey call am GT Co now. Then be also one of the people where they sell shares. Then we also have Boa Cement, is also one of them. Then we also have what we call Lafarge Africa. It's also one of those share, companies that are selling shares. Then we get Fidelity Bank, and we also have what we call Dangote Cement. So all these things are the companies that are selling shares for Nigeria. So all you need to do is to contact your portfolio managers that you want to buy shares. Then they go advise you on the shares wey be say if you buy them, you go get enough dividend. Then go give you enough dividend, or wetin we dey call Loman language, we dey call am profit, so that you go get something for yourself. So on this note, I go hand up on wetin we dey call equity based funds. So if you never subscribe to our channels, make you go subscribe now. Go subscribe. In fact, go subscribe. As I dey talk now, subscribe. Now you are dey talk to go subscribe. Yes, go subscribe. Don't forget also to share my video, and also to leave your comment on how we go take what serve you better on this platform. I remain David Oni, and my YouTube channel is David Oni Wiz. So till we meet next time, I go come up with other things wey be say it go benefit you. that at the end of the day, by 2024, like I said before, all of us go make am. Thank you very much.